What's good, everybody? Good Miles here, and I'm gonna be interviewing one of my friends that I met on Ethan Becker's Discord. He is an animator. He animates for like a plethora of animes, and we're just gonna talk about the animation industry and his take on it, and see if the animation's like good for you. And if you guys have any questions, we'll be taking those questions and asking Maxi at the end of the interview. So I hope you guys enjoy this stream. With that being said, I uploaded some new YouTube videos today. Um, Uploaded Saturday and Sunday, so make sure you click the follow, subscribe, all this shit that like YouTubers say. All right, man, you get to go. You still on push to talk.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, you're
Oh, okay. So just want to like rehydrate myself because did a lot of talking. I didn't know like how thirsty someone gets when streaming, especially like talking a lot. And it's like kind of crazy to me. Like I didn't think I need to drink so much to rehydrate my like voice. But tell us something about yourself. Like just give us a brief history on who you are and what you're doing.
Oh yeah. So I'm Maxi. Uh, Maxi underscore animes. But yeah. I work as a professional animator. Disclaimer: I'm not the most educated on everything. I'm still pretty new to the industry, but I have experience. So yeah, I worked on yeah. So professional animator. I've worked on Black Clover. I worked on Mushoku Tensei and some miscellaneous Japanese projects, and now I'm full time at Studio Yuraki,
Nice,
we're the
nice.
studio who we're the studio who made the Oda-chan, the Oda-chan show on 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 YouTube. So
Oh,
we're
nice.
yeah, yeah.
I feel like YouTube is one of those platforms where if you wanted to push out an animation or anything like that, or anything that's like film like just a project in general, it's like that great opportunity to do so without going through any gatekeepers or trying to go through like a studio to get the funding for. And I that's really freaking awesome. um, so how long have you been animating for?
Oh, for me, I've been animating for like I guess 5 years now. Like 5 years animating, but one and a half to 1.5 2 years professional. So yeah.
Okay, cool. You said that you're not someone that's like with a lot of experience, but I think the fact that you have experience is better than the person who doesn't have any experience. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess that's true. Yeah.
yeah. So it gives yourself like a lot of merit for that. And everyone starts at some point in their life. Like in some, they have some starting point where like even if I started drawing like a year ago, a person who never drew at all will still see me as like a person that's like, damn, that's crazy cool. Like you're really good, you know. So I always like to think of it that way. Um,
Oh yeah, thanks.
um, Also, I want to ask you like, how do you feel about the industry so far?
Oh, the anime industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. If you guys, I don't know. The the anime industry, it's nice. It's good.
Hmm.
But it's also not good at the same time. I mean, you guys all know
Yeah,
how anime
the
industry
work
works.
life stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm working in the Western studios right now with Studio Yaki,
Hmm.
because I realized that that the pay, obviously the pay isn't good. So I transitioned to Western industry because I can actually have stable living.
Hmm.
Um, but then, but overall, anime industry really fun. You get to work on really good projects with
Yeah.
really talented people and see so much cool stuff. So cool, so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
But life stuff gets in the way.
I feel like the Rona has kind of like just threw everything off course for everybody. There are I have a friend that's like, oh man, I was about to get in, and then happened, and now I'm stuck indoors, and I lost opportunity because of this. But it gives that person more time to like polish up their skills and like become even more hireable later on. So yeah, I can totally get that from that like point of view. Um, when it comes to animation, what do you think will be the hardest thing when it comes to it? Like, what is the hardest part of animation?
The hardest part of animation, it's really it's not. Well, I guess if you were saying animation, like the actual like act of animating, then
Mm-hmm.
it would be to is is directing it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like really, because essentially, if everything you animate, you have to essentially direct it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because you're essentially the actor, the voice actor, and also the director, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you can have directors who here's the funny thing about animation, right? Compared
Mm-hmm.
to like film industry, right? Where it's like you have you had the actors act something, right? You know? And the director's like, hey, no, no, do that again, right? You know. But here's when it comes to animating, we're animating the character. We take like a day or two to like draw and act out the scene. Then we're like, oh yeah, cool. We send it to the director. He's like, no, 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 reanimate the whole thing. I'm like, damn it. Yeah. So so it's just but then if you're on your own personal project, then
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely animate and do your own thing, do everything you want, you know, and then always trial and error. Also shorthand animation stuff, making sure you be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to answer your question, the hardest thing about animating would be um, just the the pre-production part where you have to figure everything out, essentially that. But but if we're talking about trying to, but for me personally,
Yeah.
since I'm like a master, and I'm just kidding. But but for me personally, I would say animation, the 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 will to animate, to actually get up and animate and draw
Yeah.
something or something
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
is the toughest thing. Because it's very daunting. It's very daunting trying
Yeah.
to work on big projects and stuff,
Yeah.
or fun projects, or projects that that are cool, or
Mm-hmm.
even your own personal projects, right? There is an
Yeah.
end
Yeah.
for anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like at first. I went to school for animation, and I did not read the animator survival book whatsoever. I kind of like just flew by in class. I just kind of knew the general stuff, like the squash and the squish and like the timing. Like I'm not very well versed on keyframes and stuff like that, but I knew what animation looked like. So the animation, like the world famous sock or was it Sock Boy or the Sack Boy animation?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I drew out. I think this is like the most epic moment I ever had in school, where it was finals week and everything needed to be turned in the next day, and we had to have like at least, um, was it 60? No, it wasn't 60 seconds. We needed to have, yeah, it was like around 60 seconds. We needed like a minute of animation done, and all I had was like 10 keyframes or something like that, and everyone's stressing out. It's crunch time. Everyone's like staying up 24 hours to do this thing. I wake up at 6 in the morning and the class starts at, I think, 1 p.m. I go to school early as I possibly could and I lock myself in the lab and I just started like, I'm just gonna fly by and animate this thing. And a lot of it to me was just like copy paste, fix something here, fix something there, copy paste, fix something there, fix something there. And my friends come by and see me. They're like, "Oh, you're trying to like finish your final?" I'm like, "Yeah, could you tell?" And he was like, "Good luck with that. You got a long way to go, my friend." And by the time class started, I finished my animation. I wish I had it. I lost a file somewhere, but it was like a sack boy fighting like a punching bag, and the punching bag transforms. But I made it into like a Dragon Ball Z super like weeby like animation that went on way longer than anyone else in class. And it was fluid. I had the speed lines. I did it all like in one go. And my teacher like clapped. I got a passing grade, and I'm like, wow, I really didn't. I don't think I followed any of the rules, and I just went off the deep end on it. And I just thought that was pretty interesting. How like you could just fly by and animate whatever you want. It could be shitty, it could be really good or whatever, but um, I don't think there's like a concrete structure. There are principles and stuff, but I don't think it's like there's like structure to it as well. Let me know if I'm wrong with that.
Uh, it's kind of funny. I actually have the book. It's somewhere in my storage. Right? I never opened the animator survival kit.
Yeah, like me too. Like I always like I pass by and I look at my bookshelf, and I would just sit there and be like, I still haven't cracked open an animated survival kit. But I took a break from animation because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I think that was my issue. Um, I wanted it to look like the stuff I liked, you know? Like I wanted to create something that I would love to watch and I want other people to enjoy. And the frustration came with drawing skill. So, at what point do you think drawing skill really is over like the factor on everything? Like, how good do you need to be to start
Oh,
working on projects?
okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna break down your question. How good do you need to be on projects?
Yeah.
All right. So now it depends on the project. All right. So so if your skill level
Mm-hmm.
depends on what the vision of the project needs, right, you know. So then obviously if you're working on your own personal project and you want to look like anime, right, or
Mm-hmm.
Disney or west or anything like cartoonish like western stuff, right, you know, you have to make your art style meet that standard of what you want your project to be, right. So then that's why so yeah, so essentially you just need to make your art or mimic the art style that you want to to do. If you're super original,
Yeah.
and you have your own complete original idea, then then your art style is your art style. You're already there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then that's the thing, right? You want to really make sure your your art style meets the project's requirements, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter. And also to even further your question, what's art what how skilled do you have to be in art to work on all the projects, right?
Yeah.
On every project,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You have to be. But here's the thing: art style does
Mm-hmm.
not matter at all. Art
Yeah.
style doesn't matter
Yeah.
because what it is construction and all stuff, right? You look at Ethan Becker. Ethan Becker talks all about construction,
Yeah.
for animation and stuff like that, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
so if you have construction, if you know how to build characters and build anatomy and even interpret anatomy from other artists and stuff, if you can if you can just do construction, like constantly, then you have all the art styles in the world,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, construction. Go to the basics. Construction.
Okay. Okay. Because I just like just dropped it. I saw all my friends like working in the industry and stuff like that. Well, not all my friends. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like the school that I went to was a total scam, and very few people made it and like actually start working in like at Sony or some other place, right? And I was like really desperate. I was like, "Why don't you throw out a good word for me? Like I think we're pretty good artists, you know." And they always had like this look on their face, and to my peer groups, they thought I was like really good, but to others, they just had this look, and I just couldn't. I wish I could describe it. It's just like maybe like a hint of sadness, and then like I would, but I don't know. And I was like, okay, I'm getting this look a lot. Let me look back at my work, and I see my work, and I'm like, all right, everyone says it's good. I think it's good. Let me try to compare it to the industry standard, and I'm like, I have a long way to go. I got to, I gotta like stop what I'm doing and just go back to the like fundamentals and the basics and stuff like that. And then somehow like I found myself in the concept art world because eventually I want to do animation, but yeah, it's just like a hard feeling to like understand like where do I start, when it comes to animation, like how do you improve if it's not just fundamentals and stuff like that. Hopefully I'm making sense.
No, no, I'm getting there. I'm getting
Mm,
there.
mm.
So, wait, so so how do you improve in animation?
Yeah,
Uh, let's see.
because I wanted to look super professional, man. I wanted it to look like either Studio Trigger or Bones, Madhouse. I wanted it to look like really sharp, really cool, and stuff like that.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing, right?
Mm,
So if you want your stuff to look studio quality,
mm.
you have to really make it look studio quality. It's not like you can't like make shortcuts, you know.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
can make shortcuts, but the end product still looks good, then
yeah.
that's good, right? You know, you're working smart, you know. Um, but overall, because if you look at like Adult Swim shows,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they don't look good.
yeah,
They look, you look at the
yeah,
website, you're like, what the heck is this?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's a full production and it's out and people are watching it. You know, it's on TV. You know, your art style doesn't have to be great. You
yeah.
know, but it's a standard on who you want it to compete with, right? You know, who do you want to not compete, but like but take inspiration from. So if you're
Mhm.
looking at like Studio Triggers, Yo Yoshinari's work and all that stuff,
Yeah, Yo-Yo Shinari.
yeah. So if you're trying to make it look just like that,
Hmm.
then you gotta like really take that essence of the spirit they had when they worked on the show and then
Hmm.
put it into your project, right, you know,
Yeah.
and then try to do your best, you know, to not like to essentially um recreate the energy, you know, that they had
Mm.
in the show, in their projects. For me, I love Yo Yoshinai's work. I love the
Hmm.
framing, the keyframes and all that stuff that they have, the
Yeah.
way they space their animation stuff,
Yeah.
and the dynamic of how the characters interact with themselves, right? You know,
Yeah.
because the way you know they're also bouncy, so cartoonish, but it's
Hmm.
very cool and very sleek, right? You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even like robots, like if you look at Gynax stuff,
Hmm.
because I think yeah the trigger people worked on were in Gynax, and and then when you look at Gynax stuff, you see like all the robot stuff. The way they're moving are still like very bouncy, but for some reason it still looks like, even though it looks so bouncy and stuff, all the robots still look solid. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Yeah.
such a cool mix, right? You know,
Yeah.
so then you know you kind of like take that essence and take the um take that concept and try to recreate it,
Hmm.
but in your own in your own creative way, you know, because uh yeah, uh but improving in animation, if you want to improve in animation, you
Hmm.
really just gotta uh just gotta you know just, let's see, wait, how did I do it? You just gotta surround yourself with other people
Yeah.
and really like just do it. You know, it's more of
Yeah.
that do it mentality. Because
Yeah.
if you know how to draw and all stuff, like for me, I knew how to kind of draw. Well, no, I didn't. Oh no, I knew how to draw, but I didn't know how to draw right. Right.
That part, yeah, yeah.
So like, people, you know, you have people who look at my drawings and they're like, oh, from back in the day, and they're like, oh my god, it's so cool, it's anime, you know. And then I'm like, yeah, you know, I show it to my anime friends in my anime club, you know, and they're
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, it's so cool, you know. I start off at Hune's Dojo. So Hune's
yeah.
Dojo is where they do all the stick figure animation stuff. So I
Hmm.
started at Hune's Dojo, and Hune's Dojo is like it's like you know fun stick figure stuff, right? You know, and then And then so I started drawing, and I just went started doing stick figures, right?
Yeah.
And then after a while, I got tired of doing stick figures, and I started drawing characters over the stick figures. And now I'm like, whoa, they're animated, like it looks like anime, Well, not
Yeah.
really, it didn't look like anime, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then people are like, well, your stuff is actually pretty good. Hey, come join us. And so I got recruited to Z Absolute. Then from Z
Oh.
Absolute, I got opportunities, and I got to Tanari Animation.
Yeah.
If you actually so you can look up Tanari Animation, or Striving for Animation. They
Mhm.
they're Jarrett and Will, the ones who run it. They're really into. They're very knowledgeable in the industry. And they help teach the anime industry. So if you guys are interested in the anime industry and you want to want to do real how to like how anime is made and want to learn about it, then that's the channel you should go to. Just
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah, I'm part of that group, so
Oh, nice. Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then from there, I got opportunities to go other places. But essentially, uh, then learning like learning how to really draw.
Yeah.
Using stick figures was like, because my constructions before were just a circle and a line, and then just assume what the body looks like after that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But then now I can draw better because I know how to do construction. Essentially
No.
pre-production. This is pre-production for everything, right?
Yeah.
A drawing could be its own project, right? So you're like, okay, so I gotta do the pre-production, which is getting all the materials. And I already have all the materials. Now it's to actually plan out how it's supposed to look, which is the
Mhm.
construction and all that stuff. Right? But you get like god artists who just draws it out of nowhere. You're like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but hey, as long as the end product is good, all like the fans are just gonna look at it and be like, oh, that's cool, and then they scroll away.
I also noticed that like in a lot of anime, the animations of I guess moving anatomy, it's oftentimes like hella exaggerated, broken in all types of ways. Especially like Studio Trigger stuff, like the way how people will move so dynamically, and like at what point do you start throwing away the construction rules and start just breaking shit just to make it look cool?
Yeah. So essentially, um, I haven't done it as much. For me, I really like construction. For
Mm.
me, I love Naruto's construction, right?
Yeah.
So the way Naruto looks, it's all very choreographed. The way the characters move and all that stuff. You don't really see them breaking as much, right?
Hmm.
The only thing really is like speed lines, and all that stuff. When you get certain animators on the show, right?
Yeah.
But then most of the time, Naruto is very constructed. The characters are very defined, right?
Hmm.
But then you look at Yo-Yo Shinari, all the characters are very bouncy, very vibrant, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then you can still give that same like motion to anything, you
Yeah.
know. But really, when you break the character, it's just to exaggerate things, more.
Hmm.
Because here's the thing: I can obviously like do some exaggerated like action, right? But then you can always enhance that by breaking the character a bit more to enhance it even more, right? Because you can do like a regular uppercut, right?
Hmm.
But then you can have like a character who like exaggerates the uppercut, like, right? and then, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting, But it gives character, it gives
Yeah.
character to it, So depending on how you want to exaggerate it, you can break it to compensate for the exaggeration.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I'm just spitting whatever.
It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's just supposed to be just a chill talk, just chatting about like animating in general. Just for anybody who's trying to start off. Um, just for any references, like what type of program would you prefer an animator to start off with? Or like what would be like the best program? Not like the best program, because I feel like they all like work the same, but
No,
what
no,
is more
the best program. No, the best program is Clip Studio,
Clip
bro.
Studio? Oh, thank God I got Clip Studio. Because I'm about to lose my Photoshop subscription. I'm like, well, I got to go doing digital art on Clip Studio. And a thought popped in, like, you should probably go back to animating again. Try that out. Because you stopped to get better. You have improved. You should try to animate again.
uh, I was just saying. I'm just saying. I use Clip Studio. I love Clip Studio. Um, Mainly because I didn't try any other applications. But I'm just saying, a lot of my colleagues in the
Yeah.
anime industry work on Clip Studio. But
Hmm.
you know, the other I know other animators who work in Harmony, who work in a bunch of other
Yeah.
ones, who
Yeah.
works in Krita. Well, if you
Yeah.
guys look up Teleport Day, you know he's super popular
Yeah.
yeah, he's super popular on Twitter. You know,
Hmm.
he makes animations every single day. He works in Krita, you know,
Oh
and it's free.
wow.
Krita's free.
Yeah, yeah, Creed is free.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. So like there's not one definite one. But
Wait,
I
wait.
feel like
I'm not sure if he worked in Krita. Wait, I forgot what he worked on.
but I feel like with Krita and their brushes gives it that look, that feel that like, yeah, I hand drew this like
Yeah.
on paper. It has that the brushes like just kind of simulate traditional so much more than other programs that I've seen. Like Photoshop can be cool, but I just think like there's something about Clip Studio that makes it like just different.
Yeah. I mean, the brushes, yeah, they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think especially for illustration, I mean, you can animate in any brush,
Oh yeah,
but then it's more of like uh, you can recreate those brushes anyway in
yeah,
any like
yeah.
in any like program, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the ones that it come with default, it's nice, and
Yeah,
also how it feels when you draw with your pen, you know.
yeah,
But that's all digital stuff, you know. That's all
yeah. I know,
digital,
right?
right?
Because I know like a brush doesn't make the artist. I know the brush doesn't do
Yeah,
anything like special, but I find it
or can.
satisfying on Clip Studio Paint more than on like Photoshop or any other program that I use. I think the second best feeling was Paint Tool Sai, and I cannot describe what it is. You know, like I'm not sure if if it's the sensitivity or the way how um, your stylus reacts to the canvas. There's just something about it that like it just stands out a little bit more when it just comes to illustration.
Mm.
Um, Moving on. Also wanted to know like what is your dream like what's the next goal for you? Like what are you trying to aim for?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Like is there
Um,
any projects that you like I'm just gonna I'm aiming to get here because I know a lot of people in the art servers they're like I'm trying to work for Riot Games. You
oh yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. Oh, for me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Life stuff. I'm pretty comfy where I'm at,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't mind like uh jumping into like um directing stuff. Well, I guess I'm kind of doing that now.
Mhm.
Uh, I guess I'm already kind of doing that now, but more or less, I don't. Like it's not like the position. Right? It doesn't matter the degree of position for me as long as I get to work on projects, right?
Yeah.
Because I can go from like just doing like regular like in between work or
Mhm.
go to doing key animation. I love key animation. It's cool. You get to plan stuff out.
Yeah.
Um, or like anything, right? You know, as long as I get to work on projects, it's fun. You know,
Mhm.
like you know, just being able to just work and cause here's the thing. People have goals, right?
Mhm.
You can achieve those goals, but the thing is that be happy. I'm happy just the fact that I get to work.
Yeah,
Do my
yeah.
work. I don't have. I'm not at McDonald's. I'm not. You know. Not saying McDonald's is a bad job. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that I don't have
Yeah.
to work a regular day job.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You're doing something that's creative and it's gonna like
Yeah.
it's something that you're more passionate about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am happy just working in art. For me, my goal is to just stay in art.
Uh,
I don't want to get burnt out and yeah. So stay in art. If I go up, I go up. If I get
mhm.
promoted, I get promoted. You know,
Yeah.
if I work on a cool project, I work on a cool project. You know, it doesn't matter. It as long as I don't lose my drive to to do art. That's the thing.
Yeah. Um, what about when it comes to just working on your own side projects? Do you have any side projects?
Okay, so I did have some side projects, but they were like in the works. But they were like I don't have time for them anymore. So there's
Mm-hmm.
no point that they're gonna get done. But it'd be cool if I could work on it. But
Yeah.
what if maybe but mainly it's like uh kind of just uh not gave up. I didn't give up.
Mm-hmm.
I it's more of like they're just never or they're always gonna be on the side, you know.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
because most of the time it's here's the mentality I have. The mentality I have is that I want, obviously everybody wanted to be like a manga artist,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right?
So then I'm like, I'm like, kind of, just give. For me, I just gave up trying to create my own ideas because I'm like, yo, I gotta fund this. Well, I gotta actually work on it. I actually gotta hire people to help me work on it. Oh, I gotta actually get it published. Oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
much work. You know what? Why don't I just be one of the workers who work on the bigger projects?
Yeah, yeah.
So creating ideas, it's not my thing anymore. You
Yeah.
know, even though I do have some ideas, but
Mm.
I'm like, if I can do directing, I like directing. I like character acting. I
Mm.
can do character acting. I can do action scenes. I want to. I can express my own creative ideas with with the works I have, no matter what it is, right?
Oh, okay, I see what
Even if it just show that you don't like the art style of, even if it's anything like that, you can always express yourself and in your own way on the project, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might not be your 100% on work, but hey, you get to express yourself still, right?
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah.
Right? So then for me, um, I don't really have any personal projects. I do, but they're on the side. But
Mm-hmm.
they're more of like I'm probably never gonna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but overall, you know, they're they're always gonna be there. They're not gonna go away.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. That's dope.
Oh, also biggest thing, I'm not gonna regret if I don't finish it. That's the thing. I won't regret it
That's
if I don't
good.
finish
That's really good. That's really good. Was it because I know for a lot of people like that I've seen like in interviews and stuff like that, they were talking about like, oh, it's really time consuming working for another person, and then they have their own stuff they always want to like do and stuff like that. And I was the same way where like I'm working just a regular ass job, but I'm like I wanna create my own stories and I wanna like do my own thing. Like I would love to make a video game. And then the more you get into it, you just start finding out like, oh, there's a pipeline to this. It's like
it. Yeah,
it's not impossible to do it on your own, but it's a whole lot of work. So at that point you're like, oh, I could still do it all by myself, or I could make a pilot and pitch it and then get a team on it, but then it will never be 100% mine.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think that's where like a lot of struggles come from. And let's say if you retire, like you're more than financially like handled and stuff like that, would you ever like
Possible.
that is
I'm
hella possible,
just
man. But like, would you ever just pick it back up? Like, yeah, I got it. Like as like a retirement project, like instead of writing your
no,
memoir, I'm going to my animation.
no. Honestly, I will. No, here's the thing. I will animate till I die. I don't think I'm ever gonna retire.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. Like, yeah, maybe I'll retire. If
Uh,
I do ever retire, that's probably at the mentality where I'm like, oh, I'm sick of animation. I hate animating.
yeah.
But I'm like, no, no. Right now, I'm saying that I probably just keep working until
Yeah.
until I can't work anymore.
Until the day you die.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's fun. I enjoy it. Do what you like. Have fun.
Hmm.
Have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So
How is job stability? Because in art school they kind of like just raised us to believe that um, you will work for studios and stuff like that and work on projects. And then when it's over, or not even sometimes halfway through done, the project might be dropped, and then you will also be dropped with it. So, like, do you have any experiences where you picked up a project, you was let go, and then like you're just out there looking for another one, or has it just always been like steady, consistent? Like once you was off another project, and then you found another one like literally the next like week or so.
Hmm. Uh, it's hard, you know. Here's the thing: you really have to. I had I had I've struggled a lot. I've made my mistakes. I've made dumb mistakes, you know. But essentially, um, it's never stable. You're an
Mm-hmm.
artist. It's never stable. You know, you gotta you kind of say you can like you can lie to yourself and say, oh no, I have a stable job. You know, I'm getting paid by I'm getting I'm working in a studio and I'm getting
Yeah.
getting paid and stuff like that. But dude, if you don't work hard, if you miss your deadlines and stuff like that, and you're gonna get fired, even
Mm-hmm.
if the project gets dropped. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it might be your fault, sometimes it's their fault. But ultimately, always have backup plans. You know, and here's one of the biggest things for me. I'm not sure if I can get if I want. Here's the thing. I don't. I'm scared of getting a day job again. Right.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to go and apply for a job again and do all that stuff. I've done that all before already.
Yeah. 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 I feel you. I
And
feel you.
and and trying to balance that with art, it's hard. You know.
Yeah.
But then you say you tell people to work hard, but then you look at yourself and you're like, am I really working hard? You know.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yeah.
yeah, so then it's like it's that reality where you really
Yeah.
gotta just hone down and focus on everything.
Yeah.
Look at your priorities in life. That's what I think everyone should do.
Mm-hmm.
Always look at your priorities in life. Making sure you always know what you're doing. Make sure you do it right. And if you know that it's not going to be stable, at least make your backup plan for yourself. For me, here's the thing. I'm scared of going back on a day job if I lose projects and stuff like that. But guess what? Um, uh, I'm afraid to go back to get a day job, but I will because I need to live. Right? It's a
Yeah.
It's survival, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Survival.
look at you. I'm not trying to get like like all like oh like like woke and like I don't know
Yeah. Yeah.
but you it's still life. Um, it's still life. Just making sure you can be happy in your life. If I'm happy working on animation, I'll do my best to work on animation. But guess what? If my own character flaws and habits gets in the way of my work, um, or if project or just life stuff happens, then you just gotta look at it and be like, all right, I got people to take care of. I got things I need to do. I want to fund I want to enjoy playing games. I want to pay my bills. Just gotta
Yeah.
make that money. But if you can do it with art, do it. But if you can't,
Mm-hmm.
here's the biggest thing. All right, I'm going on tangents, but here's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when people message me and say, oh hey, I love your stuff, can you look at my stuff and see if I can do good, or see I want to make this my art my I want to make my art my living, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like you where I can make money while doing my art. And I tell them, are you financially stable to even do this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that's one of the biggest things. I don't tell them, oh yeah, you need to improve on this and all that stuff. Because here's the thing, they don't need it's not the skills, the mentality that you need, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because it pains to see just to give people hope and tell them, oh, improve on this and then you'll be good. No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's 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 doesn't matter if you improve or not. You see other artists or art or, I see artists out there, not just anime but anything, right? You people who like draw, who paint on freaking walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the streets and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or on a random canvas, or some guy like throwing random paint on a thing. They make a ton of money,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter the art style, as long as you can express yourself, and as long as you have a good mentality on yourself, and as long as you're not afraid to tackle things that are hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna name anything by anybody specific, but then there are people who are struggling, right? You're like, oh, my parents lost their job, and all this stuff, and I want to, and can you ask, can I get commissions for, or can someone request commissions from me so I can help help pay with the rent and stuff like that. That's nice, right? But then um but then you shouldn't also, one of the things that is nice about those is that they want to help their family, right? But then you don't want to get pity money, right? You don't want pity money
Yeah.
for your work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
um and then the mentality really is a businessman, right? Or the business person, right? You
Hmm.
really want to be a business person, especially if you're an artist. Sometimes you got to make hard
Yeah.
decisions, sometimes you got to make good decisions, or yeah, most of the time it's hard decisions.
Yeah.
Make a lot of hard decisions, right?
Especially if you're not business rounded.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's hard to see other artists fail, which is why I like talking to people. I like helping them out.
Hmm.
That's what every artist should do. If you know something, to help teach them.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
there's so many consumers out in the world who love to give money away, right?
Hmm.
so, so then there's many of them out there. We're one of them too. We buy
Yeah.
merchandise, we buy all this stuff. Um, um, it don't like there's many people out there who can who loves art, who loves and appreciate art, and will give money for it, right?
Hmm.
So then you just gotta um work hard on your own stuff, and then be happy. Really, just be happy when you do your things.
Hmm.
Even if you're trying to be happy and it's sad when you don't make it, just be happy still.
Right.
Be happy with the
Right.
fact that you tried. Be happy with the fact that you're alive, and you're gonna be working still on your art and all stuff, right? And don't be afraid if life stuff are unfortunate. Tackle the hard things so you can get yourself back on your feet. And all
Yeah.
the stuff, all my gear, I worked a regular day job to get it, multiple day
Hmm.
jobs,
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to get all my gear. You
Yeah.
know, um, my tab's not cheap. My tab's like $800. That 13 HD, like, oh my gosh,
Man,
it's so cheap.
man,
It's so
I'm sure it hurt when you have to pay
yeah,
for it too. You're like, oh, I
yeah.
don't want to see that bank account go down like
Yeah,
that.
but I got it, and guess what? It essentially paid for itself with all the
Yeah.
projects I worked on, all that stuff. It paid for itself, which is good,
Hmm.
right? But here's the thing: I knew how to make money. I knew how to get there.
Hmm.
So, and I helped along the way. I had connections, and I had that support.
Nice.
So not a lot of people have that, right?
Yeah.
So then you really
Exactly.
got to go look for it. You really got to be, Oh, here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing about my animation career.
Hmm.
I didn't know I was gonna be working in anime. I just like doing stick figures on the internet.
Were
and,
you one of the original people who did like those stick figure fighting scenes on YouTube?
No, 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 no. Those are no. I was just one of the people who liked it and then did it, and surprisingly was good at it.
Yeah.
And people said, "Oh, your stuff is good, so we're gonna introduce you to more people." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So here's here. So all the cool people who did all the cool stick figure stuff, you
Yeah.
know, I got invited to another Discord server, and I'm like, "Whoa, those are all of them,"
The OGs, the famous people.
So it's like it's cool to kind of be to put, even though I didn't get recognized, even though like if you like here's it, anybody looking at this stream don't know who the heck I am, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know who I am, and I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
There are so many talented people who are
Mhm.
not recognized at all, and
Yeah.
it's fine. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just like working hard. They just
Yeah.
love the art style. There are so many talented artists,
Yeah.
right? But the people who get popular are the ones who know how to market themselves, right?
Hmm.
You get people who they might not be the best at art, but guess what? They know how to. They have a personality, and they put it
Yeah.
online for people to see, and then they build that personality, and they build their art skills through that. There are so many talented people, so many
Mhm.
talented people out there who don't care if they're popular or not, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was that was like a big shock to me when I first joined the Ethan Becker server. I was in Ross Draws and I'm like, damn, there's some beasts out here, and then I joined the server. I'm like, oh, Oh, there's a lot more beasts than I thought they were because I was
I
never
was, I was surprised too.
this
Yeah.
interconnected with like social media. Like this, I've been dabbling in social media for like 2 years, but I've never been really been in the art community and stuff like that. I was just learning how to use the tools that are provided with me and the stuff that I had. But like, wow, it's insane. How important would you say would it be for an artist if they want to keep on doing this full time like crazy, but um their work is always like sporadic, like their pay and stuff, like to approach being an artist as a businessman, what do you think you need to have set up?
All right. So, as a businessman, you never want to fail. So, everything should always have a backup plan. Every single thing should always have a backup plan. Like I said, I'm just repeating what I kind of said before. I mean, if you want to work in art and you don't ever want to do anything but art, you have to always look for things that will make you money, right? It's kind of like I'm sounding kind of like like kind of like a corporate
Yeah,
owner.
like you got it. Capitalism.
That's the thing. You have to find a balance, right? You gotta find a balance. You gotta be evil and nice at the same time. I always respect you. I will never ever disrespect others. That's the thing, right? And if I ever to do commissions, if I ever have to work, if someone asks me, pay me like a set amount of income of money to work on a project, I'll always respect them and always make sure that I do good and also business relations, right? But then, um, but then you also gotta know how to balance yourself and how to how to keep keep your job essentially,
Yeah.
because you're self-employed. You don't want to end up having to fire yourself because or the business failing because there are things that you didn't know how to do right.
Hmm.
So then if you don't if you're trying to, because here's the thing, as self-employed, you have to file you have to you essentially hired yourself. You have to file your own finances. You gotta manage the projects. You gotta do everything. You gotta be the worker who does all the artwork and stuff like that. You gotta do
Hmm.
all the line work and all stuff like that.
Hmm.
But then guess what? If it's so hard, then that's why there's companies. That's why there's CEOs it's like there's managers who hire more workers to work on stuff, right?
Hmm.
Because if you're a freelancer, you're essentially your own your own company, your own business person trying
Yeah.
to manage projects. So if you really really want to hone down on art and and have fun working in art, instead of going to college for like art degrees and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna come after me, but go for business degrees. Go for
Hmm.
business degrees, right? Because here's the thing. If if I was gonna go to, if I were to go to, I didn't go to college, right? You know,
Hmm.
I just went straight into the industry and stuff,
Which is crazy because like I was raised to believe, because like me being Nigerian, my parents were like, you gotta go to college if you ever want to like make it anywhere, and like you need that degree. And I think I was like in my last term there, and I started watching a bunch of interviews. Like I need to like really look up my favorite artists and like their aspirations and stuff, like really start sticking to them like glue. And they were like, yeah, I never went to college, I just drew in the back of Foot Locker. My manager saw me, he got mad. Then he introduced me to his wife, and I got into an animation job. And I'm just sitting there, mind blown, like I was lied to. I was lied to. You don't need a degree.
yeah, dude. You think you think people in Japan? You think the production people in Japan are like, oh, excuse me, Maxi-san, do you have a high school diploma? Do you have an art degree so we can see? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? No, no, no. No, sorry, you cannot work on this project. Even though your art is really cool, you can't work on this project. I'm like, damn it. This is not how it works.
Right, right.
Sometimes it is how it works.
Hmm.
Sometimes it is how it works. For other
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah.
Um, but most of the time, you don't need an art degree. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. no, it's not bad to go to school and all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
If you want to further your education, you got to be smart about it, right? Because here's the thing: if I were to further my education, here's my backup plan. If I if I lose my job, if
Mhm.
if if I if I cannot get if I cannot pay my rent for next month, I gotta go. I gotta go get a job. I have connections that'll help me get jobs and stuff, and make money. And then that's my backup plan. But long term backup plans. Here's the thing. Yeah, you have short term backup plans.
Mhm.
If I lose my job and I go back to working a day job, I will obviously come back to animation. Right?
Mhm.
Um, but then if animation failed, if I get blacklisted from the industry,
Yeah.
or if like nobody wants to hire me because I
Mhm.
probably messed up somehow,
Yeah.
um, I will go back to school, go back to I'll go to college and I'll get an accounting degree, and I'll
Mhm.
be an accountant who's working in an office,
Yeah.
just he's enjoying life,
Mhm.
because well, here's one of the things I love about my job, right, as an animator. I can work anywhere around the world, right? I can work
Yeah.
anywhere around the world. And same thing as an accountant, right? Like an accountant, I can as an accountant, you just do math and you just work with finances, right?
Mhm.
And then as an accountant, you can work at any job around the world. Any company needs needs financial a finance person,
Mhm.
So then I can work anywhere else as a financer. But guess what? I'm working animation. I don't want to mess up. I have to work hard,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And I don't want to go. I don't want to have to go through that route if I don't. If none of this. Because if I didn't know anything about animation, if I never wanted to be an artist, I probably would have been like accountant,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
I always saw it as your backup plan was gonna go down like I'm gonna be an accountant and then I'm gonna like apply back to those like animation studios and be their accountant. So
oh
I'm
yeah,
still in the
yeah,
animation
oh
industry.
yeah, yeah.
You never get rid of me.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I don't know what the anime industry work. I'm not sure if I want to be a financial advisor.
It seems pretty hectic, right? Like where all the money is like being stretched and pushed around just to like make something come off the ground.
Yeah.
Um,
But overall, I mean, uh, yeah.
yeah.
Probably stories I shouldn't tell. So.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to just wrap up the interview. But like my last question, the biggest debatable question that I ever want to ask you: dub versus sub.
Dude.
Go.
Okay, come on.
You
Okay.
gotta pick a side.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know English voice actors for anime. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know them. No, I know people who know them, and but overall, oh, there's certain charm. And here's the funny thing. Here's the thing. No matter how weird it sounds
Uh-huh.
in English,
Yeah.
it sounds just as weird in Japanese. If you're Japanese and you watch anime and you're like, oh, it sounds so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in America, when we listen to it, we're like, oh, it sounds so weird. The Japanese word thing is the exact same thing.
Yeah. I felt like the same way with like a lot of animations. Like growing up on Dragon Ball Z, like just dub. Whenever it came on television, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And like, okay, I'm watch it in Japanese when I like got older and I got my hands on a laptop and I got a computer. I'm like, oh, and internet. I'm like, is this what Goku really sounds like? Why does he sound like that? He's so high pitched. Now go back to like One Piece. Why does Luffy sound like that? What's going on? But then there's some animes that are dubbed. I'm like, ugh, the voice acting's so bad. Go to the Japanese. Oh my god, this is a million times better.
Here's the thing. I can watch both. I can
Mhm.
watch both. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not a stickler for that. I'm not like, oh no, dub only. No, I'm not like that. I'm like, it's there. I'm just gonna enjoy it. If I'm working, I don't know a lick of Japanese, so I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put it in English so I can understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
I guess so, I mean, yeah. But here's the thing. I don't really watch anything
Hmm.
while I'm working. I just listen to music while I work.
Yeah.
Um, or sometimes I just sit in silence and work. That's fine.
I find that like incredibly hard to do sometimes.
Oh, but one of my chat
Silence.
members, Pepperoni says, uh, this is a very strange because I have been hearing different things from different professionals. I have more than 5 times. I've heard more than 5 times from professionals that location is important, but then the man here says the opposite. Wait, what do you mean? Explain that, Pepperoni.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everybody's right.
Hmm.
Everybody's right. I'm just saying my own right.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of things that people are saying or stating is through not as a sensitive as a collective, but
Yeah,
more of like just personal experience.
yeah. If you take my perspective and my views and my experience, and you match it with like 50 other people, then you can kind of create your own perspective.
Yeah, yeah. They said it's been told that LA is where it's at. Oh, the Animators Guild. I see.
Oh, wait, Animators Guild. Oh, by Howard Wormshard. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, personally, I don't know. I don't know him, but here's the thing. If you want to work in the studio, like inside the studio, and work with people, work alongside other animators, like face to face, in the studio, then go to where those studios are at. Right? Yeah, definitely. Because look, I'm a webgen animator. I work on Twitter. Do I have to be in the studio to go on Twitter and say, "Oh yeah, here's my animation. Someone hired me," no, I could work. I could work anywhere. And here's the
Yeah.
thing. Here's the thing. I work in the anime industry, and there are studios in America who are imitating the style, and they want to create, and they're fans who. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't realize this until recently. I transitioned from the anime industry to the YouTube anime industry. The anime, because like your anime YouTubers for the ones from Trash Taste or like
Yeah.
Giga, Sea Dog, BA, and Anime Man.
Yeah.
You know, I essentially work in that industry, in the anime fan industry. I didn't realize that until recently. Right? I thought I was working in the anime industry, but here's the thing. I'm not in the anime industry anymore, but I am still in the anime
Yeah,
industry.
yeah. You're like you're not in between, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That's really nice. That's really dope.
but then here's the thing. Here's the cool thing. Since we have so many webgen animators, um, not all the cool animators are stuck in Japan anymore, working on on Naruto and all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
We
right.
we have all these webgen animators who are now working on America, on not American, but Western products, Western stuff, because Oda-chan show. If you, yeah, like if you look at Oda-chan show on YouTube, it's a studio. It's produced. It's funded. It's created by a guy by Yusuf from Otaku Versus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's created by him, he's based in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
and then the studio that works on it is based in in LA, and also I think it's transitioned to other places. It's based in LA in studio and by Studio Yaki,
Mm-hmm.
and then and the workers are webgen animators from like Japan, the Philippines, France, and me in California, right? So it's a whole like online studio, right? And you can hire anybody from anywhere, and you just send production materials through directly to them, and then you create the episode, right? You create everything, and it's amazing. Here's the thing it's not just locked down to a single studio anymore like it used to. You can now work online, right, So then that's why I'm saying I can work anywhere I want because
Yeah.
I work with people who do that, right,
Yeah.
I work with studios that does that, right, you know. And here's the thing: nobody realizes it, but but all freelancers who work on on the social media who gets commissions on social media, they can work anywhere they want to. It doesn't matter where they're living. You're essentially your own studio in your own
Mm.
house is working. I'm literally sharing my room with two siblings.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, this is my studio.
Oh man. I always thought that would be more of the norm than anything before the virus and the lockdown and stuff. I feel like what would be the need for me to go straight to the studio if I can do it at home? But I understand if you're at a studio, they can have meetings and like you can go over some groundwork there and like
I have
you
meetings. I have
know
meetings on like I have meetings too, so don't worry.
yeah, but like you could do it online, you know. So
Yeah.
I thought it would be I thought that would be more of the norm. Like let's say even I can understand like maybe like not all companies like let's say if I wanted to work for Riot or some type of game company or something like that, um, and I'm doing it at home. Well, you're working on some classified top projects, and they want to take those precautions on keeping those said to be released like new editions or whatever or products to be a secret, and they don't want anyone to get their hands on it and like leak them out or take in the information and like copy it or whatever. So I can understand like you have to be here to work on the stuff because our computers are like not easily hackable in most cases.
That's true, but you say that, but then here you
Yeah,
are.
but people get in all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. If a hacker wants to get in, they're gonna get
Yeah.
in.
Oh man, it was a great it was a great interview, man. I had a great time talking to you. Is there anything else you want to like say before we end this? Put up your social media or talk about like some stuff that people should probably go see and watch.
Hmm. Let's see. A lot of my friends worked on Egg Priority, Wonder Egg Priority, so that's a pretty good one. I'm watching that with my girlfriend recently.
Hmm.
It's been pretty awesome. I worked on Mushoku Tensei. Check it out. It's kind of weird. Some things are kind of weird about the anime, but
Hmm.
it's a good watch.
Yeah.
And and uh, yeah, just the new animes coming out. They're pretty decent.
Hmm.
Uh, um, check out Oda-chan episode 4. It just came out. Otaku versus China. uh, yeah, follow me if you want. I don't know. I'm on Twitter. Maxi underscore animes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put his Twitter link into the chat so anyone who's catching the replay of this, they can see that and like, yeah, and go check out his work. Stuff is cool.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thanks, Milhouse.
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Let me just type that in here. Oh wait, I don't know if that worked. No, I threw in a Discord channel.
Woo! Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. How would I do this? Is enemy room right here. All right, I'm gonna just copy it from Twitter itself and post. All right, but yeah, it was a wonderful interview. I had a delightful talk. Pepperoni says, "I think she's seen. I think I've seen Oda Chan, just by chance. Is it something that's like really popular on YouTube as well? Like, is there like,
Uh, it's more of like a huge meme.
yeah,
It's like here's the cool thing about Oda-chan, right? So
mhm,
she was produced in the UK, studio in LA, workers from all around the world, but the workers are all in the anime industry, right? They all work in the anime industry.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's like so it's like we get YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's free, right?
mhm,
You get an anime. You get like a video like with people who worked on anime,
mhm,
uh, who worked on it, and it's just out there, and it's all just fun, right? Just
mhm,
all fun, you know. And it's really different. It's really different, you know. I will say pay is better, you know. Anybody here's the biggest thing. Here's the biggest thing about making your own anime, right? You can literally like if you have the funding for it, or you have the fan base fund it, right? You can really create your own thing, pay a decent amount of money, and then and then create something amazing, right?
Yeah.
Anime isn't just limited to, well, not anime, Japanese anime, whatever like that, right?
Yeah.
But projects are not limited to, to big corporations. There's small projects every day with commissions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Depends on how big you want it, how big the fan base wants it. Make sure you trust the right people to make the project work, and you just make really cool stuff on YouTube
Yeah.
or anywhere, any platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've also noticed on I think Kickstarter and stuff like that. Like what was that guy? He made Skullgirls. All his stuff was like fan produced.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, literally, like you have like GoFundMe accounts, you have like Patreon stuff. Dude, everything funded by everything funded by the fans.
Hmm.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's from it's funded by the fans, for the fans, and and by fans too, right?
Hmm.
Um you just have, you just create really amazing stuff. And here's the thing. You pay all this money to um you pay all this money to buy merchandise from like Naruto or like One Piece or Dragon Ball or like that, or anime in general. All that money doesn't go to the anime studio. They go to the production companies, right? And the
Mm.
corporations who work there,
Mm.
and they're the ones who have all the investors and stuff who are like, oh yeah, this show will make money, so let's make money off of it, Um, all that money goes to them, not to the studio. The studio only gets a certain amount to make it, right? They get hired to make it, right? They have the name in it so they can work on more projects. Studio Trigger did it smart. Studio Trigger created their own IP, right? A
Yeah.
lot of these studios don't have their own IP.
Hmm.
They can't afford to make their own IP because they need to make money.
Yeah.
So then Studio Trigger created their own IP, has funding behind it, and then now they're way better off because they can actually sell their own products,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is why they did it well, right? Um, so then it's not limited. Anyone can do it. Literally, um, uh, all the channel was created by people who by normal people, normal
Yeah.
fans
Yeah.
who then created huge funding and created a project and everybody loved it, and now it's just a huge meme,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a good meme. It's a good meme.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing: we don't release episodes like every week, like
Hmm.
TV anime. We release it like whenever we're done with it. I think,
Oh, okay. That's like stress relieving.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to make it. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we're gonna release an episode every week. Like, no, that's impossible. Oh, Mordecai says, "Is Teleperte still in Zeta Absolute?" I don't know. Oh, I think he is, but he hangs out in Hyun's dojo more. He animates. He hangs out in Hyun's dojo more. So if you wanna
Mm.
hang out with him, he's in Hyun's dojo Discord. So yeah. But I think almost everybody in Zeta Absolute, Zeta Absolute is like cool. That's actually where where I got started with anime work. Zeta Absolute is cool. Um, but I'm not sure what they're doing right now. They do like small collabs here and there, but almost everybody's too. Here's the thing: Zen absolutely started off really cool, where they're all wanted to be in the anime industry, and they have people, they have a connection, they all got into it. But guess what? Now everybody in Zen Absolute is in the anime industry, or in some animation or art industry in general, and they're too busy. We're all too busy now, so we can't. So when they come back and they hang out, they just talk about games and all that stuff, just hang out, you know. But it kind of leaves where new people who want to come in are kind of like it's kind of hard because we're so busy now, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah. But overall, that answer is cool. Yeah.
And there's always like room for more people to come in.
Yeah, yeah. I will say that Zen Absolute is they more or less scout for you. You really have to not want to be in it. Well, no, I'm not saying that. If you want to be in Zen Absolute, you have to really like. You just gotta get scouted. You just gotta work on your stuff, and don't ask to go in. Just keep working until they eventually see your stuff. If you post your stuff on Twitter, we're gonna see it. We're all gonna
Mm,
see it. Um, cool animation is not gonna be overlooked because every all the cool animators in Zeta Absolute, they're 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 all on Twitter. You know,
yeah.
um, So if your stuff is gonna be seen, it's gonna get seen. You know. I didn't even know Zarasu existed, and I got invited to it. Right? So that's the thing, right? Um, um, you get people who, I'm sure you know how, so you get this too, where it's like
Mhm.
people are like, oh hey, can you look at my stuff? Can I be invited to this group, or do you think I can work on projects with my art skills? You just gotta give kind of, you do your best to kind of give them the truth, or not hurt their feelings or something like that, right? But just do your, you know really, essentially, don't look for it.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't expect anything. Just work hard, do your thing, look at your inspirations, work hard. Again, work hard. Or work
yeah,
smart. Work smart.
yeah.
And then and
And
then
just post it and just just like hope for the best.
yeah, essentially it.
Yeah.
You know?
And what do you think about intention when it comes to animating?
Intentions when it comes to anime? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Like let's say I want to work on doing really dynamic scenes and stuff like that. So I should work on posting nothing but dynamic scenes and have it on social media.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Um, it depends on how you run. Okay, here's something about social media. So it depends on how you run your social media. So if you want to get hired, by studios and places like that, you want your social media to be essentially your resume, or your profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or your portfolio, sorry, your portfolio. Um, like Instagram is a great place to put your portfolio, but here's the thing: Instagram's not gift friendly, so then
Yeah.
that's why a lot of animators use Twitter.
Yeah.
So then since Twitter is gift friendly, and a lot of um, animators use Twitch, and all of the staff uses the Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. Sorry. Production staff use Twitter. Then we get hired through Twitter. So
Mm.
it depends on how you treat your social media. Is it where you can express your personality, or is it where you post your art, your work? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then for me, if you look at my Twitter, I don't really have a lot of personal stuff. A lot of my personal stuff is mostly on like Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Facebook, whatever like that. But
Yeah.
other than that, I barely post anything personal. I just post my work. You Um, all my So if you look at my Twitter, I don't retweet anything really. Um, yes, I don't retweet anything, and I don't what is it? Uh, Wait. Yeah, I don't really retweet anything. I mainly just post my work, and essentially that's it. Yeah, the thing is that I do like stuff. So you look at my likes and I like them, but I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
retweet them, because I want people to actually see my work. Here's one of the issues that a lot of people
Mm.
who like animation, and who want to be in the anime industry, but they're still new. They put Japanese kanji's animeta on their thing, and then they retweet a lot of like cool animation, Genga and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and layouts and stuff. And then the production staff doesn't know better, and then they look at them and they're, oh shoot, we're gonna hire him to go to work in animation, but no, he's not an animator. He's an animator, but he's new, and then it happens where then production messes up, you know, and then, yeah. Overall, it's you um, do you want to manage your social media as a personality, where you get to like kind of talk with the fans and have fun and stuff like that, post your artwork and post others' artwork, and then do trending stuff, like whereas, oh, draw six OCs, or six fan arts and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
or doing the trending stuff, like was it like the Bowsette one, or the redraw the
Yeah.
Sailor Moon thing, it depends on your personality, right? You want to, and then also like, oh, you want to like team up with, you want to do a collab with other artists, right? So you do like a art trade or anything,
Yeah.
how do you want to manage your social media? Right? For me, I don't. I used to do all this stuff, but not anymore. I don't do it anymore. I
Mm-hmm.
just post. I just make whatever I want to with the time I have, and then and then just and then just post it up there, and then I get contacted by studios and stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, but I can do that. I can do that if I want to, but it depends on how you want to manage your social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like babbling.
No, no, it's all good. It's all good. I feel like some insight could be very, 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 very helpful for anyone, and even me, because like, I struggle a lot when it comes to um, all this stuff, especially when it comes to social media and like what I want to like put out there and like what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. I feel like I'm just brand new to everything, and especially like just throwing myself out there. Um, and I just want to like do different things. So I really do value that you take the time out of your day to come by and like just chat about this stuff.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me,
Oh, no
man.
problem, no problem.
It's
Um,
like it's like when you're like, hey, can I do an interview on you? I'm like, I'm a nobody. Why are you want to interview with me? So,
you're not nobody. You're somebody.
all right,
I feel like everybody's a somebody.
thanks.
Well, man, I'm all out of questions, and I'm not sure if anyone in the chat wants to ask any questions. This would be like the perfect time now.
Oh yeah, come at me with your questions.
We had a good 7 people in the chat.
Nice. Oh
Let me
yeah,
see.
Milhouse, you went to art school and everything, right?
Yeah, I did that.
All right, so let's see. So how has it been since? Since
um, the school didn't really like teach me anything. Like I felt like I went there to land myself in debt and not really get the knowledge that I really wanted.
yeah,
The only thing that I've probably gotten from that school was like how to work hard. Like if I wanted to stay up for a stupid amount of time and just work, I know how to do that.
yeah,
From that point, I just been studying on my own. I've been self teaching myself. Like I went to an art school for 4 years, did not learn any Photoshop, and
oh
everyone just like, how does that happen? Like, yeah, they just pass you along just for the money. So, whenever there was a class on Photoshop or matte painting, it was either like they didn't have it for that quarter or they never brought it back or it was just full, so I can never like really sit down and actually learn how to use any of these digital applications. And the drawing classes that we had was very short and sparse, and everything else has just been like learn as you go. And it was just a very impractical way of like teaching a lot of people anything. So there's
yeah,
tons of people, not even like just only like including me, but there's tons of people who graduated and they didn't really like go anywhere. They kind of like they let that school like just kind of crush them, and they like never wanted to pick up art ever again. And I was like, I'll be damned if that's me, because like I thought I quit art like so many times in my life, and I still find myself really enjoying like just the act of drawing and just making something cool looking. So I was like, yeah, I'm just keep going, and like I want to work. I want to make money from my art. I want to work professionally in some area. I just need to figure out what it is. But um, I just know like I'm just going to go straight for it, and I just want to like show the people that graduated with me that kind of like just gave up and they're like, I'm done with art or whatever, like this is like not the lifestyle for me, or whatever bad experiences they have when it comes to trying to be an artist. I want to show like, hey, if I can do this, you can do it too. I try to like just be that example for anybody. So that's like the whole reason why I'm like just doing the whole internet stuff. If not, I'll just probably just be in my room just working my ass off and just try to get myself out there as much as I possibly can.
I see. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, photography. Oh, Pocky says that they started doing photography again. Thanks to
Ah,
Kim and Michelle. Yeah, not
oh,
sure what they
that's
are, but
great.
hey, photography is great. Photography is
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Like you'd be surprised. There's like actually a lot of artists that just pick up photography as a side thing, and
Yeah,
it's more of oh, this looks cool and I want to like draw this out, or this I can see this be like a scene or something, or oh, this I like this really cool textured rock or tree. I want to like take that and use
Yeah,
that for something. I always thought that was like kind of cool. I'm like, all right, like, maybe just pick up
yeah.
a camera.
Dude, freaking, dude, photography is so fun.
Hmm.
I take a lot of pictures and I use a lot of them for reference when
Hmm.
I do my work and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, if you look at if you look at a lot of anime and stuff uses photography and stuff too. So yeah,
Hmm.
um, and film and stuff too. So yeah, but other than that, like it's you know I like just taking pictures of everything.
Yeah.
it's, it's
Yeah.
it's
Especially I don't know. I find like it helps stimulates the whole other side of like drawing and creating art, because like you're I feel like I'm also like, oh, I'm expressing composition and I'm expressing light and color, and I'm just like just going over all these photos and stuff. But that's back then when I like was trying to do the whole like, oh, I'm a freelance photographer while I work on my art type of thing, you know. But
oh yeah.
now I just pick it, put a camera up, and I just have it mounted. Like I just gonna make YouTube videos because
Yeah.
I can just take a picture with my phone. I don't need to like go all out with like my Canon camera and like giant lens and stuff like that.
Yeah. Let me get to this question. So
uh,
Kirby Hat 5 says, Maxi, do you find practicing other art disciplines makes you a better animator? Let me. What does discipline mean? Again. So I guess for me, what makes me a better animator is just to uh, I don't know. I mean, you can always animate in different styles or different ways to do the construction. So I've been working with the Space Dad, and you know him, Millhouse.
yeah.
But I've been working with Space Dad, and dude, Space Dad has so many ways he can do construction. It's amazing, right? You know, and I'm like, wow, it's so
Yes.
cool, right? But then for me, I'm like, I'm just gonna do the one I know how to do. I know how to construct characters. I know how to construct characters, because it works for me and it gets my work done, and I
Mhm.
can go to and I can just go do whatever like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, Space Dad is like he has so many construction techniques, and
Man.
I'm like, yo, I can't do that.
Yeah. Like I'm
but
talking about like from A to Z. Like, oh, this is how you gonna like do the head, or you can gesture the head like this. I'm like, all right, you just trying to just learn it all.
yeah, I know, it's crazy. So it's for me. I'm like, yeah. So I just stick with whatever works.
Mhm.
Stick with whatever works. Master it. There's that saying where it's like, you do not fear the man who knows 100 kicks. You fear the man. Oh no, you don't. You don't fear the man who practices 100 kicks. You fear the man who who practices one kick 100 times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, so then, so then, be good at one thing. Oh, kind of like that character from Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
That he's not good at anything else, but he mastered one move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, and there's actually a true story about that too. Like a guy who learned like the basic judo, like the basic judo moves, like from the first belt you get, but he just practiced the basics like every day. And he went to a competition and won the champion, or he won the entire tournament or something like that, just by learning like just mastering the basics.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kirby had gave so other disciplines like photography or music. Oh, okay. So okay, I mean, you also like, now here's the thing. It doesn't really make you a better animator. It just helps motivate more animation for you. So if I were to for me, I like to do tricking, like to practice. I'm not good at it, but I like to do tricking where it's like you do really cool taekwondo kicks, and flip kicks and stuff like that, and I like to incorporate that in my animation. So sure, I'm not good at it, but I can study it and add it to my stuff. You can also look at music, where you listen to music, you get the emotion from the music, right? And you can play that music in the background and apply it to your animation. You're like, oh, my scene. If you play this music with the scene I'm making, then it applies to it. You know, it's a sad scene. You play a sad song. You're like, oh yeah, this is the emotions the characters are carrying with them. You carry that emotion you have into your art piece, right? You know, because right, it's about expressing yourself. Art is about expressing yourself. Animation is another way to express yourself. If I want to create a sad scene, I'll play some sad music. I'll get the mood ready. You know, light some candles. Then you know then you express that feeling onto the work. You
Yeah,
know, yeah, yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh, networking. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
networking gets you jobs.
yeah,
Networking gets you jobs. So
yeah. So even with people and or like online networking, I feel like it's overall just great on its own. I feel like a lot of times, I'll say like there's a nice chunk of artists that are just like I'm a straight up introvert. I know I was. I didn't like communicate with anybody. I still have a hard time communicating with like anyone in my close circles sometimes.
yeah.
But like just talking to people and like having like an open discussion really helps out a lot.
Oh wait for if you don't know if you're not reading the chat, it's like Pepperoni says I only know how to network with people. That's why we're talking about networking now.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even like your name will still be like thrown around, and you know I feel like some networking is better than no networking.
Yeah. Here's a fun thing about working on a project. The reason why remember, earlier I said that I don't care what position I'm in as long as I get to work on the project, right? You know, that's the thing, right? Here's the thing: a lot of people don't really don't really they do care, but it's not really like a big thing, right? You know, because here's the thing: if I was like if I were like if it was like Avengers Endgame, right? You know, I'm like, oh, I'm the guy who was holding who was like I was a guy. I was like, was it like um bystander number 53? Right? You
Yeah.
know? I was in Avengers Endgame. I was bystander number 53. Whoa, you know. You know, then you're like you get to work on it. Your name's on the project. You know, come on. You know, doesn't matter what you did. It's like,
Yeah, it's better than nothing, right?
yeah,
It's always nice to have that little thing in your like little resume.
yeah. So then for my for my freelance work, here's my freelance. So for my freelance work, when I work on anime productions like that, um, even though no matter how small the scene I worked on, I still my name's on the project. You know, so it doesn't so yeah. So if the next person who hires me wants to see my work, I can show them my layout work, and I'm like, oh, this is the
Mhm.
scene I worked on. You know, but most of the time they're like, "Oh, you worked on Mushoku Tensei." It doesn't matter what part you worked on, because your name's on it. You know, you did layout work for like a really popular show. Um, it doesn't matter kind of what you did. You worked on it. You know, your name's on it. Right? You know, so it gives you more clout, right? You know, or bragging rights, right? You know,
Mhm.
so then yeah. But then also, but here's the thing: but that's when you're freelance. You're freelance, you get to have your name on things. But when you're working in a studio, when you're full time in a studio, you don't really get your. Sometimes you don't get your names on things. Right? You know, here's the thing: you're not working as yourself. You're not getting your name on it. What's happening is that you're working as the name of the studio. You're representing the studio now. Right? You know, so if you get hired full time, you're kind of you stop your own progression as a personality, right? You know, so if you look at my animations on my stuff on Twitter, you see a lot of personality in my animations. Right? You know, you have like the way and you can see the way I animate. You can see the way I do my timing and stuff like that. You know, but if I work in a studio, um, I don't have time to develop my personality. My personality is well, I mean, I could just start posting non work stuff and just my own stuff, like personal stuff, or I can work on just or oh yeah, but essentially, you are now part of the company and representing the company standards and all that stuff, right? You know, and yeah, so then just understand that and try not to to just try to balance that, I'm not really sure what my point is.
Oh, she says that I want to talk to a person the same as I can over the internet, though.
Oh wait. So pepperoni, you're just saying that you have bad social skills.
Yeah,
Is that what
and
you're
she
saying?
and she wants to like have the same level. I don't know. I just feel like it's all about just being consistent, just paying attention whenever you can.
No, here's my recommendation. So, if you were to talk, let's say there's a relationship advice from Maxi. So you're trying to get like if you're in a relationship, right, and you're dating or that you meet someone online, you know, you don't want to be the cool funny person online and not be the cool funny person, in public, right? Um, 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 it's like like that's like because if someone like likes you because that's how you are online, then if you meet in person, you should still do that, right? Because here's the thing: being able to not be in front of the person, being able to just type your words out, it allows you to think about your words before you really put them out. So then you can't really do that in person. You kind of have to, like poop stuff out your mouth, right? So, and then you don't. I don't know where that analogy is at, but it's just you really just have to get that same energy and just apply it to here. You think I was always good at talking like this? No, I'm not. I was not. So it's just I was I'm just really fun. It's just trying to be respectful and just have a good attitude about it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I know for the fact, like, for me, it wasn't. It was very, very hard to communicate to people outside of internet as well. But then, I think it's just more about like just social anxiety when you stop caring and letting go of certain things and just be as respectful as possible, like you said, and like always have like an upbeat attitude about things because no one wants to hang out with like a negative person or like someone that has like toxic traits or whatever. But like if you just come off as cheerful and just genuine, I feel like those conversations outside of the internet is like a little bit more easier to do, and it just takes a lot of practice too as well. Like you have to
No.
try to engage a little bit more and a little bit more.
But it also depends on how much you know that person. If you have a person who's toxic, or if you have a person who's like toxic, or maybe always down all the time, you know, you always have to have a meaning of like a sense of understanding too, Because
Hmm.
here's the thing: no matter how nervous and afraid you are, and how much anxiety you have, you know, don't think that they don't understand that either. Right,
Yeah.
don't think that they are not going to understand the fact that that's how you feel. Right,
Hmm.
if you're gonna go on like and talk with people or friends and stuff like that, or new people that you meet, or go on meeting stuff, and you feel nervous, right? Don't don't think that's how you're always going to be, or think that's how it's going to be forever, right? Here's the thing: they're going to be there, they're there to talk to you and hang out. They might feel nervous as well, but if they're not nervous, if they're confident in themselves, let them know that you're nervous. You're like, hey, I'm actually kind of nervous. It's been a while since I actually come out. I just want to hang out and stuff, but I'm not sure. They'll definitely understand. They're not like, what? You're nervous? How dare you? It's like it's not. Everyone. We're all humans. We can
Yeah.
understand each other. So if you feel some certain way, just talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah.
And if someone's like down all the time, like, yo, why are you down? We're here to have fun or hang out. And then they're like, oh, well, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just hang out. I'm like, well, if you being down is gonna interfere with us trying to hang out, then let's talk about what's going on so we can hang out better. Right,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, friends are free therapy. So yeah, make sure you pick the right friends though.
Welcome, Nathan. 2006, and for, she's also saying like it's hard practicing that because of the pandemic, and it's just like it's not it's a hard thing like trying to get out there in the field of doing it because of the whole thing. But my thing on that pepperoni is the fact that this is not going to be forever. Like this is just a moment in time that is kind of crazy, which I kind of like relish. Like I would have never ever thought or imagined that I'll live to see the day when something like this happened. I got something to tell my grandkids, you know. So I got like stories, but it's not gonna be a forever thing. And then if you still want to like practice these relationships or like practice communicating with others, there's always Discord. Like I, when the first month or so of the lockdown, like, well, I can't hang out with anyone. Well, I gotta go on the internet now. I started jumping on Discord. I started joining these communities, and I was just in the chats, voice chats every day, just talking, 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 talking. Probably not as much now because I'm just like super busy with like all the stuff I have in the background. But I also thought it was like a really great way. Just like I'm trying to be more comfortable with talking to others and making sure that I can get my like point across.
Yeah. Let's see. You can also look at like voice chatting and even video chatting like this. It's still the same interactions, you know. I mean, so like you know, like I see Millie. He's doing his thing. I'm doing mine. I occasionally pick my nose on accident. No, I'm just kidding. But
Oh
yeah,
man, I always get like kind of like nervous about that. Like I'm gonna like find myself like someone's gonna clip me. I know someone's gonna clip me if I'm like just digging in there like get that stuff out.
oh yeah. Interacting with people. I mean, it's not like I'm like, it's not like, what else are we supposed to do? You know, in person, versus like through video chat like this, right? You know, it's like I'm gonna go, oh hey, and then then like punch Millie in the shoulder. I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? I'm like, oh man, I missed that interaction. Oh, I want Millie to punch me back. You know, it's like that. You know? Yeah. Well, it is different from IRL. Yeah, obviously, you know, yeah,
oh yeah.
that like 12-millisecond delay. You know?
Yeah.
I guess it
uh,
is daunting in the presence, right? You know.
hmm Yeah. Kirby hats. What's also kind of nice about the pandemic is when we get out of the pandemic, everyone will be bad or not used to it talking to strangers again. You know,
Uh,
I don't know. I feel like it would be quite the opposite. I feel like the moment we can like stop wearing the mask and stuff, I feel like everyone's gonna be all hella like sociable. Like I feel like everyone's like, give me a hug because I haven't hugged anyone in days and months.
actually, no. To me, it's different. To me, it's different. Even though I do go to the store and and get stuff, but and I do wear a mask and everything. I can still have like nice conversations with the person. I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know,
Yeah,
how's your day going? How's work going? You know,
yeah,
like, all right, well, I'll see you later. You know, hey, you
yeah,
know, small talk and stuff like that.
yeah.
You know, and you can always talk with people. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I had this a super long conversation with a random lady at a car shop, right? You know, I had my computer and everything. I was gonna work because I have the car was at the shop. I had to wait there for like an hour or two. I'm like, I'm probably gonna work, but I'm like, I don't want to set up all my gear stuff here, you know. And so
Yeah.
I saw this lady, and she's just reading a book, and she's like an old lady, and she's reading a book. I'm like, oh, let's go see, just talk to her. I'm like, hey, what book are you reading? And then she started when she went off on talking about a lot of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, okay, you know. So then now I'm having this nice conversation with this lady, and it ended up really nice. You know, I learned. She told me about her life experiences and all this stuff, and then for like a whole 2 hours, and and we didn't keep in contact. You know, it was just a nice conversation. She enjoyed
Hmm.
the conversation. I enjoyed the conversation, and then that was it. You know, you can always have nice conversation, talk about life stuff, um, hobbies, interests, and stuff, and then and then you don't have to talk to them again. You know? I look back and I'm like, that was a nice old lady. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Would you say that you're extroverted?
Oh, yo, I don't even know. I've been my whole life. I'm like, I'm not extroverted. I'm introverted. You know, I don't really talk. No, here's the thing. When I hang out with my friends, when I hang out
Mhm.
with friends and stuff like that, and I'm not the center of attention. I don't crave the center of attention. I do like being funny, you know.
Mhm.
But here's the thing: when my friends, they're all talking, they're all like talking to each other. They're all introverted too, right? You know,
Yeah.
so they all talk to each other. When they're in the because when they're with their friends and they're talking about some things, they're all like they're all very introverted, but they're very extroverted when we're together. When they're in the second,
Yeah.
that's how introverted people are. With introverts in your own group of friends, you're super um talkative in it, right? You know, like I said, when for me, even though you see me talking all this stuff, right? You know, but when I hang out with my group of friends, I'm always quiet. You know, I just chill. You know, I just hang out, right? You know, like you see me in the Ethan Becker Discord
Yeah.
house. I just sit there, and then when the moment's right. When the moment is right, I say the dumbest thing, and it makes people laugh. And I'm
Yeah.
like, my job here is done. I'll just sit and just be quiet, and just wait. Right now, that's how I am.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about like if you want to talk about like certain things like you want to talk about life stuff, you want to talk about art and stuff like that, and therapy and stuff like that. I'm there to chill out and hang out and
Yeah.
talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Since I'm putting the spotlight. I'm gonna
Mhm.
show the spotlight who's brighter. You know.
Yeah. I like that mentality on the spotlight.
Yeah.
um, I feel like was it Pepperoni Pikachu said like started out introverted, now I'm ambiverted, but still mostly introverted. Like
uh,
I feel like a lot of people like kind of grew up to be that way, like just introverted. Like you just know how to be content and be by yourself and stuff like that, and not really like
it's
voice
all
out.
mentality. It's all just
Yeah,
mentality.
yeah. Then eventually, like you just find that spot where you're like, yeah, I'm cool with like just being outspoken here and there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Like we had Mindy in here for like a cool second. She's an amazing friend of mine. She also streams. I'm gonna like give her a shout out.
Mm.
She's like super in love with Jujutsu Kaisen, like
Uh,
super in love. uh,
I had the opportunity to work on Jujutsu Kaisen, but I couldn't work on it because I was too busy with other projects now. Oh.
there's always second season. You know they're gonna have a second season.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I might work on it. I might work on it if my schedule's okay.
She just got a Gojo candle. That's like a whole new level right there. Because normally it's like clothes and merch, but then you start having like appliances or other things like based off an anime. I feel like that's a whole nother level of fandom.
Yeah,
Oh, no
yeah.
problem, Indy.
Dude, that scene. Well, I haven't seen the anime, but I've seen the scene where the character gets like beat up.
Yeah.
Like he'll get beat up and all stuff. And I'm like,
Oh, what Mojito? Like he was just getting beat
yeah,
up by two
yeah,
people.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know the animators who worked on it. I think it was like Vercreek who worked
No.
on that scene, and I think
Yeah.
Yen CBN worked on that scene and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. They might not have worked on it, but I just know they worked on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cool seeing their layout and stuff. It's also on Twitter too. So
Oh yeah. It was an amazing scene, man. I hope you really do get that second season. Shit, I like
hopefully,
man.
hopefully.
I think that's like the coolest thing about like just being an artist, especially if you're like working on projects and stuff. Like I would have killed to have my name as part of the credits on was it Into the Spider Verse? You know, like
Oh yeah.
just to have some type of creative like help in there, and I think that's like where it just comes down to like you either are the consumer where you just love that thing, or you're like, or you can be both. But that being that person, like, man, I did that scene. That's my shot. That's me
Yeah.
right there. I think that's like the best feeling in the world. That has to be like the best thing ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Dude. When I yeah, that's funny. all the animes I worked on, I haven't watched the whole episode.
Hmm.
Like because before I barely even watch anime at all. And
Yeah.
then, but even though I work in the anime industry, I barely watch anime. I get most of my inspiration from like TV shows, and stuff like that, and watching, YouTube videos and stuff. Right? But
Yeah.
I rarely watch anime because I can kind of care less for the story. I just watch anime for the animation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly.
yeah. So then when I saw the scene on Black Clover, when I worked
Hmm.
on the scene on Black Clover, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then but then like it's just kind of funny, just like um once you're in the industry, you kind of don't recognize how cool it is to be in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Because there are times where well, I don't talk to a lot of people, but but my girlfriend, she was talking to her friends, right? And she was like, oh, I love. One of her friends were like, oh, I love Black Clover, blah blah blah, blah, right? And she's like, oh wait, oh yeah, my boyfriend worked on that. And then she was like, wait, what, really? No way! And then they started like, it was freaking out. And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, I forgot. I went in the anime industry. It's not normal,
I feel that. I feel that. It's like whenever you get any type of new job, like the wonders is there, and then like then it comes like the new work life stress of like, oh, I want to do really really good, and I want everyone to like me, and then after being seasoned for a while, like it's just normal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Like people think that when I say I worked on Black Clover, they think that I worked on all of Black Clover. I'm like, no, I only worked on one scene in one episode. That's probably like weeks ago. That
Yeah.
probably aired like months ago.
Yeah.
And I haven't the production companies contacted me again to work on more episodes, but I'm like, nah, I want to work on other projects right now.
Yeah.
We're too busy to work on the project right now. So it's like, but it's just funny because it's on your history forever. Right? Even if you worked on one small part of it, it's on your history
Yeah.
for forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's like, oh, former Black Clover animator. I'm like, only worked on one scene, but okay.
Yeah. I think that's like the really cool, the coolest thing ever about like just even just being like a small little part of it, and then like you have that forever on you, is the fact that like when a person passes off or passes on, and then you're like, I'm gonna check out their Wikipedia page because like that person inspires me, and you see like the massive list of shows they have done, you're like,
Oh yeah,
oh
dude.
my god. Like only if you could like just add that to like my tombstone, like just at like in the back of it, I just want like a list of all the
Yeah.
shows.
Like just chisel in all the
Yeah.
shows you worked on. That's
Oh, my resume in the grave.
yeah.
My actual body of work. Um, any more questions in chat, guys? Oh man.
Okay, anyways, but Millie, questions for you.
Okay.
So so then so then so so how are you faring with projects? Being like, because you're essentially like freelance, right? You're essentially yourself doing art and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how's it been going for you? Like all that stuff.
I don't really like do projects. I'm more trying to like build a business at home, so I can like have something to just that will like work out in the long run, and then start tackling like more projects because I have like my own projects I want to do, but I have to put them on the back just to do all this stuff here. Like I make stickers, I make shirts, I make anime merch and stuff like that. If anyone wants to like have them, I made an Etsy store. I have like a website, and I'm just trying to currently set up all my bases, get the hang of it, and then once I start receiving something like some any type of passive income or whatever, and then like all right, cool, I have like multiple sources of revenue, then I'm gonna move on, because I don't want it to be like the main thing that I'm gonna like make most of my money off of. So in the meantime, get better, make stuff that people want to buy, and then get good enough to like start working and like being demanded here and there.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
essentially, what you're going through the personality route. You know, you're obviously
Yeah.
developing your art skills. You're pretty talented. I've seen your stuff.
Mhm.
You know, so you're developing your art skills. Also, you're putting your personality out on the internet. You
Mhm.
know, so then you're selling yourself as a character and your artwork as as a product and stuff. You know,
Mhm.
so then so then most of the time people will come to you not because of your artwork but because of your personality.
Yeah.
You know, that's the route you're going, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Mhm.
It's actually good. You know, I can't do that. You know, like I don't have the patience to
Yeah.
to create all that stuff. You know, so
Dude,
I
yeah,
just
it's a
work
lot.
and convince people that my art's good enough
Mhm.
to get on projects and then, yeah, work. Yeah, but yeah. So. Wait, what is a quote or philosophy that you live by? Yo, not quote philosophy, dude. I live by fortune cookies. Fortune cookies of the future.
Also, how do you build a brand for yourself? Is building a brand pretty much require for artists, or you just need a foot in the door?
Wait, how do you build a brand for yourself? Is building a brand pretty much required for it? No, it's not
I,
required.
I-
Yo,
yeah,
here's the
yeah.
thing. For me, my brand is action and character choreography with my animation. My brand is my animation style. They look at my animation style. They're like, "Oh, I like the way he animates. I like the way makes his characters move." That's essentially my brand. They know me because that's how I animate. You know, or you can create a brand like like um 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 like oh, if you wear Millie shirts, you get power. You know, your animation skills increase 10 times. You know, tenfold. You know, you know, create a brand like that, right? You know, but really, a brand is just to convince people that you're worth something. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Where to really get your foot in the door, just work hard, work smart, and 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 then eventually people get noticed. You know,
Hmm.
if you're really if you're talking about brand, essentially it's marketing. How do you market yourself? You know, go on social media, post your work up. You know, um, try making sure people actually see your work. You know,
Hmm.
I see a lot of people post their work up, and then they post a lot of stuff like, "Oh, I'm getting an art block," and they post like a picture of a person getting art block. You know, and you're like, "Yeah, but if you're trying to get hired, you don't want the person to be like, oh, I want to hire this person. He's pretty good at art, but he says that but he passed post that he says that he has art block, so I don't want him to get art block while I'm working on my projects. You know, so then you're like, oh, okay, so maybe I shouldn't post stuff like that on my
Yeah, yeah.
you know? So yeah.
Uh, do you want a brand to be specific, like dynamic animations, or do you want your brand to be general, like known as a good artist?
Oh, that's essentially the same thing. If
Yeah.
you have a dynamic animations, and that means I'm essentially a good artist, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, no. Sometimes it's not. It's sometimes okay. If you look at the ping pong, the ping pong animation,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's not really good art. It was really well animated, you
Hmm.
know. You look at what was it Devilman Crybaby? You're like, oh, that looks kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
But it's still very well animated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, animation, art, same thing. Because if you say artist, artist can be for everything. You know, it's such a broad term. You know,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
be a good illustrator. Yeah, that's different. But if you want to be an artist, you can be a music artist. You can be like a performance artist. You know, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what type of art you do. Um, uh, um, you always want to be a good artist. You know, but here's the thing. You don't want to prove yourself to anybody. Right? You know, that's the thing.
Mhm.
You're not trying to prove yourself to anybody. You know, you're just more or less trying to prove to yourself that you're good enough. Right? You know, and maybe proving to yourself is proving to other people. You know, or whatever. But then but then all you really need if you know going through my perspective, businessman perspective, you don't need to prove to anybody you're good enough. You just gotta prove to the production companies that they should hire you because you're good enough, you know, for those projects,
Yeah.
right? Um, but you know, if you just do art as a hobby, art on the side, you know, have fun, you know, balancing your life, working a regular job and then doing art on the side just for fun, you know. Um, um, you know, you value yourself as an artist to express yourself, and then just don't just you know just like just have fun.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's gonna be a career. Obviously, learn the basics and build off that basics to create your own style, your own brand, or like that. But yeah. But like, is it better to get work to be known for a specific kind of art, or have a more broad portfolio? Yo, broad portfolio is always a thing. Here's the thing: if you want, here's the thing. Um, there's a guy who can draw Naruto. Like I don't know his name, but his art style is like legit. He like mastered the Naruto art
The
style.
Mishimoto, the Mashimoto like technique.
Yeah, so it's like you you yeah. I mean, your brand is now Naruto art style. Um, um, is that the only thing you can work on? Is Naruto, or can you show that you can work on other projects? Can you is Naruto the only thing you can work on? Right? Because
Yeah.
that's the only thing you know how to draw. Right? You have fan accounts where they take they make their money, or they do their business model by saying they know how to draw, they're good at drawing, they don't know really how to make money, they're not sure what to do, so they're just gonna grab a fandom and then or niche and just make that their only thing to work on. Like you get like was it like Nintendo, and you only draw Nintendo stuff. You don't draw anything else besides Nintendo
Yeah.
stuff, right? There's a artist who does Rainbow Six art, right? Who play like for Rainbow Six. I'm like, why would why would Rainbow Six have cool anime art, right? And it's all in this person's profile. I forgot who it is. You know, I forgot the name of the character. I'm bad. I don't remember names.
I know
But
TB Choi does a lot of like a Rainbow Six stuff.
yeah, yeah. So they're like, what? It their whole brand is Rainbow Six, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm like, all right, that's how they're making money. They're banking off the fans. Like, yeah. And essentially, where is the audience? Who's the audience, right? For me, my
hmm
audience is anime fans,
yeah,
and the people who like anime. They're my audience. They're the people who buy my stuff, right? Who essentially pay my bills, right? Yeah. Yeah, and then and people who do Rainbow Six art, because I love Rainbow
yeah.
Six. Yeah, yeah.
hmm
Like who loves Rainbow Six art? Who loves Rainbow Six? They do art for the Rainbow Six fans. You're not gonna
hmm
get like a Nintendo fan looking at Rainbow Six.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So you target the audience. It does seem sleazy, but I mean, it's a fan of Rainbow Six. It'd be
yeah.
weird if you're not a fan and you do something, and then I mean, it's fine. You're a business person. You
Yeah.
may not be a fan of it, but you know where the money's at, so you'll tackle it. You respect the hustle. You know,
Mm.
if as long as the person can can as long as the artist can respect the the fan base and respect the 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 source material, then yeah, right. You get like TV, you get like those really bad like video game movies, right? Where you're like, whoa, what happened to these characters? Why are these characters so like misinterpreted?
Yeah.
So they kind of look at it, you're like, oh, it wasn't made by fans. It was made by people who knew where the money's at and tried to make money off the fans, but they didn't respect the source material, or they had to jump through so many hoops to make money, um, but respecting the corporation, not the fans, right?
hmm
So you get like the Street Fighter movie or the Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat movies.
Yeah.
Or, so they're pretty bad. They're pretty campy, but they're fun. They're fun little
Yeah.
movies. But overall, like um uh but then you get like art, you get like the artists, the fan arts, who respect the industry and respect the source material, and they stay true to it, where they create fun stuff. That's where you get people who like the niche, and then they give money for those niches because they love it.
hmm
Yeah. It's like fur art.
Yeah. We're having we're just chatting right now, but like we finished with the interview, and we're chatting with Maxi about anything you can do with animation or anything like that. Um, because he's also working professionally. If you have any questions for him, you can always ask him.
Oh shit. Word.